Most men are losing women, not because of how they look, not because of what they earn, not because of their height, their status, or the car they drive. They are losing women because of what they say, or more accurately, what they fail to ask. Think about the last conversation you had with a woman you were genuinely interested in. What did you talk about? Her job, the weather, some surface level topic that felt safe and forgettable? And after that conversation, did she lean in closer, or did she slowly pull away? Here is the truth most men never get told. A woman does not fall for a man because he said the right things. She falls for a man because he asked the right questions, because he made her feel something in that conversation that she almost never feels. Truly, deeply seen, not complimented, not pursued, not entertained, seen. And that difference between a man who compliments and a man who sees is the difference between a woman who forgets you the moment you leave the room and a woman who is lying awake at midnight thinking about that one conversation she had with you and wondering when she gets to have another one. Today I am giving you 7 questions that create exactly that effect. 7 questions that bypass small talk, bypass her emotional guard, and reach the parts of her inner world she almost never shows anyone. These are not pickup lines. These are not tricks. These are psychologically calibrated questions that, when asked with the right masculine presence and genuine curiosity, unlock something in a woman that most men spend years trying to access and never do. Stay with me until the very end, because question number 4 is the one that will change every conversation you have with a woman from this day forward. And I do not say that lightly. Let's begin. My name is Lyra, and this is Mystique Psychology. If you are new here, welcome. This channel is built for men who are done with shallow advice, men who are tired of being told to just be confident or be yourself without anyone explaining what that actually means or how to actually do it. At Mystique Psychology, we go deeper. We explore the real psychology behind attraction, masculine presence, emotional intelligence, and what it truly means to be a man that women respect, trust, and desire, not because you performed it, but because you became it. If that is the kind of growth you are here for, subscribe right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because every single week I release a new video that gives you the psychological insight and practical understanding that most men will never have access to. Now, let's talk about what is really happening inside a woman's mind when she feels drawn to a man. Most men believe attraction is something you create by doing more, saying more, showing more, giving more compliments, more attention, more effort. They believe that if they just try hard enough, eventually she will feel something. But here is what those men do not understand. Attraction in a woman is not built through what you add. It is built through what you awaken. It is not about impressing her. It is about making her feel something inside herself that she did not expect to feel in your presence. And the most powerful way to awaken that feeling is through the right question, asked with the right energy at the right moment. Think about the men in your life who seem to effortlessly attract women. The ones who do not chase, do not perform, do not try too hard, and yet women are consistently drawn to them. What is different about those men? It is not always looks. It is not always money. What is different is their presence, their ability to make a woman feel like the most interesting person in the room, not because they flattered her, but because they were genuinely curious about her inner world. Women live in a world where almost no one asks them the right questions. They get asked about their job, their weekend, their favorite movies. They smile, they answer, and they feel nothing, because those questions only touch the surface. And a woman's surface is not where attraction lives. Attraction lives deeper, in the parts of her she keeps hidden, in the desires she rarely voices, in the fears she almost never admits, in the version of herself she only lets out when she feels completely safe. When a man asks a question that reaches those places, when he makes her feel that it is safe to go there, something shifts in her psychology. Her guard comes down, her femininity rises, her curiosity about him intensifies, and she begins to feel something she will struggle to explain later. She just felt comfortable. She felt understood. She felt like he saw her. That feeling, when it is real, is the foundation of genuine, lasting attraction, not the kind that fades after a few weeks, the kind that deepens, the kind that makes her think about you when you are not around and wonder what it is about that man that feels so different from everyone else. These 7 questions are the keys to creating that feeling. Each one is psychologically precise. Each one is designed to reach past her surface and touch the parts of her inner world she guards most carefully. And when you ask them with calm, masculine presence, with genuine curiosity, without desperation or agenda, the effect is almost immediate. She opens, she connects, she begins to feel attracted not just to your face, not just to your words, but to your mind. And once a woman is attracted to your mind, everything else follows naturally. Let's go through all 7. Question 1. What kind of presence in a man makes you feel most at ease, without him having to say anything? Psychology. This question is powerful because it goes straight past her logical mind and asks her to describe something instinctive, something pre-verbal, the non-verbal, energetic, almost primal signal she unconsciously responds to in a man. Women are rarely asked this. Most conversations stay at the level of words, achievements, and surface personality. But this question asks her to go inward, to describe something she feels but almost never articulates. When you ask this calmly, with grounded eye contact and genuine curiosity, she pauses. She goes quiet for a moment. She thinks, because this question requires her to access a part of her mind she does not usually reach in casual conversation, and the answer she gives you is essentially her attraction blueprint, handed to you openly and willingly. What it does, the moment she describes that kind of presence, whether it is calm strength, quiet confidence, steady eye contact, or a man who takes up space without needing to announce himself, she will involuntarily begin scanning you for those traits. It is not a conscious decision, her brain does it automatically. You have just made her hyper aware of your energy, your stillness, your frame. And if you embody even a fraction of what she describes, attraction begins activating the moment she finishes speaking. How to ask it? Slowly, calmly, with a slight pause before you ask, as if you genuinely want to know, not as a test, not as a tactic, as a man who is actually curious about how she experiences the world. Question 2. What is something about yourself that most people misread the first time they meet you? Psychology. This question sends a very specific message to her subconscious. I am not interested in your surface. I want to know what is underneath. I want to know the part of you that most people miss. That message, that you are looking deeper than most people look, is extraordinarily rare in conversation. And rare things are valuable. Rare things create desire. Women almost universally carry parts of themselves that they guard carefully, parts that are more complex, more layered, more interesting than their public personality. They guard these parts because most people are not safe enough, perceptive enough, or interested enough to receive them. When you ask this question, you are signaling that you might be different. What it does, she feels chosen. She feels like you are paying a different kind of attention, the kind that sees past her smile and her social performance and reaches towards something more real. That feeling of being genuinely seen is one of the most powerful emotional triggers in female attraction. It creates an almost immediate sense of intimacy and trust. And here is something important. The answer she gives you will tell you something real about who she is, something she does not tell most people, which means by the end of this one question, You already know her more deeply than men who have spent weeks trying to impress her. Question 3. When was the last time a conversation left you feeling genuinely energized? Psychology. Most questions ask a woman to describe facts about her life. This question asks her to access an emotional memory, a moment of real connection, genuine excitement, mental aliveness. It pulls her out of the present moment and into a feeling she remembers and values. When she revisits that memory, she does not just think about it, she feels it, the excitement, the engagement, the sense of being fully present with someone. And here is the psychological mechanism that makes this so effective. The moment she accesses that emotional state, she begins to experience echoes of it in the present conversation with you, because you are the one who unlocked it. What it does, she becomes animated, her energy shifts, she lights up, and because you are sitting across from her when this happens, because you are the one who asked the question that brought her back to that feeling, her brain begins to associate you with emotional energy, with aliveness, with the kind of conversation she has been craving. That association is incredibly magnetic, and it happens without her consciously choosing it. I want to pause here for just a moment. If you are watching this and you are thinking, I have never heard anyone break down attraction psychology at this level, you are right. This is what Mystique psychology does differently. We do not give you surface level advice. We give you the actual psychology, the mechanisms, the understanding that transforms not just what you say, but who you are in conversation. And that transformation is permanent. If you are not subscribed yet, subscribe to Mystique Psychology right now. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Every week I release content that goes this deep and deeper. You do not want to miss what is coming next. Now, back to the questions. We are at question 4. This is the one I promised you. Pay close attention. Question 4. What is something you wish men understood about what women actually want that almost none of them do? Psychology. This is one of the most powerful questions in this entire list. And here is why. Women carry frustrations, emotional truths they have been trying to communicate to men for years, sometimes their entire lives, and feeling consistently unheard. They want to express these truths. They want someone to actually listen, but they almost never find a man who creates the space for that conversation. When you ask this question openly, without defensiveness, without an agenda, you create that space. You are telling her, I am not here to assume I understand you. I am here to actually learn. And that posture, that masculine humility combined with genuine curiosity, is extraordinarily rare. What it does, she feels an almost immediate emotional closeness to you. Something opens in her. She begins to speak in a way she rarely gets to speak, honestly, from a place of real feeling. And as she does, she places you in a category she reserves for very few men, the category of men who actually get it, men who see beyond her surface, men who make her feel emotionally safe, and women are intensely, deeply attracted to men who make them feel that way. Here is the additional power of this question. Whatever she tells you, whatever truth she shares, listen. Do not defend. Do not explain. Do not try to argue or correct. Just listen. Because the act of listening without judgment is itself one of the most attractive things a man can do. Question 5. What makes you feel safe enough to be completely honest with someone? Psychology. This question operates on the deepest level of female psychology. Safety, emotional safety, psychological safety, is not a secondary factor in female attraction. It is the primary factor. Without it, nothing else works. A woman can find a man attractive in theory and still keep her guard up, still hold herself back, still never fully open, because she does not feel safe enough to be real with him. When you ask this question, You are showing her something most men never show, that you understand the importance of safety, that you are not just trying to get something from her, you are trying to create something with her, a space where she can be honest, where she can be real, where she does not have to perform or protect herself. What it does, her entire energy shifts when she answers this. Her tone softens, she slows down, she becomes more present. She begins describing what unlocks her, and as she does, she is simultaneously evaluating whether you embody those things. If your presence is calm, grounded, and non-judgmental as she speaks, she will begin to feel safe with you in real time, not just theoretically, actually, and that is when real attraction begins to deepen. Question 6. Is there a version of yourself that most people never get to see? Psychology, every woman has a private self, a version of her that is more unfiltered, more complex, more alive than the version she shows the world. She has learned, usually through experience, that most people are not ready for that version. Most people cannot hold it. Most people will judge it, misunderstand it, or use it against her. So she keeps it hidden, protected, waiting for someone worthy. This question tells her you know that version exists. You are not satisfied with her public self. You want to meet the real her, the version she guards most carefully. And the fact that you asked tells her something about who you are, that you are perceptive, that you are safe, that you might be worthy. What it does, she pauses. She looks at you differently. She considers you more carefully than she has up to this point in the conversation. And if your presence, your calm, your attentiveness, your non-judgment matches the energy of the question, she will begin to let that version out, slowly, carefully, but genuinely. And that moment, when she decides to trust you with a part of herself she protects from almost everyone, is the moment when deep, real attraction is born, not surface attraction, the kind that lasts. Question 7. What does a man do without saying a word that makes you think he is different? Psychology. This is the Stoic question, the question of silent masculine power. It invites her to describe the nonverbal, unconscious qualities she associates with a man who stands out, not because of what he said, but because of who he was in the room, his posture, his stillness, the way he makes eye contact, the slowness and intentionality of his movements, the quiet confidence that does not need validation. Women are deeply, instinctively attracted to these qualities, but they almost never get to consciously articulate them. When you ask this question, you are giving her permission to access and express something she usually only feels, never says. What it does, she describes qualities she has never put into words before, and as she speaks, as she articulates what she finds irresistible in a man's silent presence, she is simultaneously measuring you against those qualities. Every word she says is a criterion she is applying to you right now. If you are sitting across from her with calm, grounded, unhurried masculine presence, if you are not fidgeting, not seeking approval, not talking too much, she will feel what she is describing in you in this moment, and that feeling will elevate your presence, your mystery, and your masculine pull in a way that nothing you could say would ever match. Let me bring this all together for you, because what we have covered today is not just a list of questions, it is a philosophy of masculine presence. These 7 questions work because they are built on a truth that most men never learn. A woman does not fall for what you show her. She falls for how you make her feel. And the deepest, most lasting version of that feeling is not excitement or entertainment. It is the feeling of being truly, completely understood. When a woman feels understood by a man, when she feels that he sees her inner world without judgment, that he is genuinely curious about who she is beneath the surface, that she is safe enough to be honest in his presence, Her entire psychology reorganizes around him. Her guard disappears. Her femininity rises. Her attraction intensifies. Not because he performed something impressive, but because he created something rare, a space where she could be real. Very few men ever learn how to create that space. Most men are too busy trying to impress, too busy performing confidence, too busy proving their value, and in doing so, they never stop long enough to actually see the woman in front of them. The Stoic man is different. He does not chase. He does not perform. He does not overtalk. He observes. He listens. He asks the question that matters. And then, and this is crucial, he waits. He lets the silence breathe. He does not rush to fill every pause with more words. He is comfortable in the quiet because he is comfortable in himself. And that comfort, that stillness, is felt by every woman who sits across from him. These 7 questions, asked with that kind of presence, become something far more powerful than conversation starters. They become the experience she compares every other conversation to, the standard by which she begins to measure other men, and she will keep coming back, not just to talk, but to feel that feeling again, because once a woman has felt truly seen by a man, she does not settle for less. If this video changed how you see attraction, if it shifted something in how you understand conversation, masculine presence, and what it truly means to connect with a woman on a psychological level, then I have one thing to ask you. Subscribe to Mystique Psychology, not because I want the numbers, but because if this resonated with you, if this is the kind of depth you have been looking for, then you deserve to have access to everything that is coming next on this channel. Every week, I release content that goes this deep and deeper into masculine psychology, into emotional intelligence, into the kind of self-understanding and inner strength that transforms not just how women see you, but how you see yourself. Hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video, and leave a comment below. Tell me which of these 7 questions you are going to use first, or tell me which one hit you the hardest. I am Lyra, and I read every single comment. Your words matter here. And share this video. Send it to a man you know who is tired of surface-level relationships, who wants something real, who is ready to become the kind of man that women do not forget, because that man exists inside you already. You just need the right questions to unlock him. A man with real depth does not need to be the loudest in the room. His questions reveal his character. His stillness reveals his strength. His presence speaks before he ever opens his mouth. My name is Lyra. This is Mystique Psychology, and I will see you in the next one.